So this story comes from Julia Craven at Huffington Post. Here we have another one. This is ridiculous. So, 17-year-old Vinay Wright and her friend Leliana Green were eating at a San Antonio Whataburger last week when sheriff's deputies racially profiled and arrested them on trumped-up charges, the lawyer for one of the teams alleged Tuesday, as video of the incident began to circulate online. Wright and her friends had just bought food Friday evening and were about to sit down and eat when deputies arrived, responding to reports of a fight in the restaurant parking lot, according to Von Wright, Vinay's father. Officers found close to 100 people in the Whataburger parking lot when they arrived. James Keith, a spokesman for the Bexar County Sheriff's Office, told the Huffington Post. When some of the people in the parking lot ran into the restaurant, deputies followed. When the kids ran in, I guess the police didn't know who was who, and instead of them finding out, they just automatically attempted to clear the whole restaurant, Von Wright said. A video shows Vinay sitting by herself in an empty corner of the restaurant with BSCO deputy Cynthia Hernandez standing next to her. Hernandez throws Vinay's food on the floor and places her in handcuffs. The video also shows Green walking over with Vinay's hat and trying to put it on her head before being apprehended by a second officer. The sheriff's department says the Whataburger manager asked everyone to leave the restaurant and that Vinay Wright was ordered to leave but refused. She remained seated and was arrested for criminal trespassing, Keith said. Green was arrested after interfering with the arrest, Keith said. But Daryl Washington, who is representing the Wright family, said the manager never asked everyone to leave the restaurant. Washington alleges that the officers singled out Wright and Green and unlawfully arrested them because they are black. The general manager of the restaurant, Randy Torres, declined to comment. They were clearly treated that way. It's pretty obvious because of their race, Washington told HuffPost. There was no reason to treat two paying customers in that manner. They were not violating any law. Keith, the spokesman for the sheriff's office, says there is no evidence that an unlawful arrest or racial profiling took place. The majority of people at the restaurant were the same ethnicity as the arrested people, he said. A second video from that evening taken in the parking lot outside the Whataburger shows a large crowd of people. Many of them are black, though by no means all. This video contains profanity. Naturally, we're concerned anytime an allegation of unprofessionalism is presented against one of our employees, Keith said. We are working with Whataburger to obtain surveillance footage to help better understand what happened. Yeah, right. A teenager at the scene called Wright's mother and informed her of the arrest. When Vinay's parents got to the Whataburger, Von Wright asked Hernandez what had happened and whether the officers could release the girls to their parents, he said. According to Von, Hernandez replied that she didn't like Vinay's attitude and that the teen was being disrespectful. Really? So we're locking people up for attitudes and disrespect now? Please. Von also says Hernandez told the Wrights they must have raised their daughter to be disrespectful. The bottom line is I don't think my daughter moved fast enough when Hernandez said to move, Wright said. My daughter's story is she was putting all of her fries and her chicken strips in the box and getting her drink so that she could get out. Von Wright also alleges that Hernandez did not read his daughter her rights. SATX4, a grassroots organization working toward ending systemic racism, has held several protests in the San Antonio area to support the two teens. The group has also created an online petition calling for Hernandez's immediate termination from the sheriff's department. It already has more than 2,800 signatures. That's right. Get her up out of there. Washington, the Wrights family attorney, said he is not sure what actions the family will pursue, but they will consider it all legal remedies available. Yeah, get her up out of there. I'm tired of these cops with she was disrespectful and had attitude. Well, yeah, because she's trying to eat her food. Obviously, she wasn't in the melee outside the restaurant if she's sitting at the table with food about to eat. So stop it with the shenanigans. And bottom line, you got Latinos who are just as racist against blacks as whites are. So with that said, if you want more news, information, or updates, please subscribe to @yourblackworld.net. My name is Yurima Karama at Your Black World News.